What is going on, folks? Like I told you guys, we're doing some new stuff. We're adding some reactions to just content or opinions that are out there. Yo, if you guys have a tweet, a series of things you guys are interested in hearing my take on, or just you wanted some attention on it, something controversial, whatever, yo, I am going to consider reacting to it or giving my opinion on it and such. Here's the thing. I don't do rage videos. I'm not into putting negativity out there. So if I am being negative at any point of view, at any point in time, know that it is deserved. That's not my brand. I don't want to attract people that complain and whine. That's annoying. So if I talk about it all the time, I'm going to attract people. I'm going to attract people who are like, I'm like, oh, what an annoying person. So I don't want to attract those kind of people. But I'm open to suggestions. Let's do it.
Us to anime of the year, which
Deserved.
I was not surprised about because,
Why would you be?
In case you had forgotten, this is an identical award to the award that I presented. It is the exact same nominations as Best New Series. So if Solo Leveling did not win this, there must have been something really, really dodgy going on. I would raise more eyebrows if Solo Leveling didn't win this one. Of course, Solo Leveling needed to win this one at this point because I'd already presented this award. Let's be honest. Like I said, no anger. I feel nothing. I knew this was going to happen, which kind of brings me to, I guess, my overall opinions of this entire award show. And I guess what perspective we have. I guess I'll go back to Best Continuing Series for this one. Sorry, Best New Original Anime. Ninja Kamui won this. And initially, I was exceedingly surprised about this one because I was like, okay, obviously, I have my favorite.
It had no goddamn competition from my perspective because I don't know any of those shows. So, I picked Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night. Never seen it. That's what I picked.
Favorites, which is Girls Band Cry. And then I thought about it. And then I was like, of course Girls Band Cry was not going to win this one. This wasn't even legally available for like months. And like so many people could not watch this even because it just was not available for the longest time. And out of all of these shows, the one that started off the strongest with some great animation was Ninja Kamui, right? That was
agreed.
Okay, with strongest action animation.
Agreed.
Animation, I think. Ninja Kamui had, I forgot the what was the director of Ninja Kamui? Like he's a fucking goated action director. Sung-Hoo Park. Big fan of his work. All right, I'm really bad at names. Directed.
Oh, his name is right there.
1. Directed God of High School as well, and God of High School was a show that, say what you want about the story and adaptation, holy shit, did it have some amazing
original
action
special
animation and choreography. Right. And I think Ninja Kamui got a lot of hype in the beginning. Right?
Yes.
Ninja Kamui got a lot of hype at the beginning for some very, very hype, flashy, great action scenes. Right? And I think what I realized after this many years of covering the Anime Awards and seeing what wins, people, and specifically, I think it's the Western audience, right? Because Crunchyroll is very much a representation of the Western audience. Anime has gotten popular enough that not everyone that votes on these awards are just going to watch the entire spectrum of what anime has to offer. A lot of the appeal in terms of what gets headlines and what gets spread around, especially just things that break out of the sphere of just, you know, anime fans that watch a lot of anime that come out, is very flashy action anime. That's why Shonen Jump shows are exceptionally popular. That's why I think Solo Leveling did exceedingly well overseas. I'm not sure how popular it got here in Japan, but I know that Solo Leveling did not get as popular in Japan as it did. As like the effect that Solo Leveling had in Japan is not comparable to the effect that Solo Leveling had to an international audience. And I think what the Crunchyroll Anime Awards...
I don't know if he's going to say this, but there's some controversy with Japan and South Korea in the Solo Leveling franchise. So I would like to know, how would you even receive it? How would you even feel about it as a person who lives in Japan? So...
represents is your general anime watcher. And your general anime watcher is a different kind of community than I think the community that existed 10 years ago. It is kind of grown past the anime community that we recognize, the anime fans that I'm sure are in chat right now. It's grown to just a more general audience. And a show with a little bit more of a niche appeal is never going to hit a general audience as much as something like Solo Leveling.
Y'all not gonna be, the general fans are not gonna be watching Redo Healer. They're not gonna be watching Interspecies reviewers. They're not gonna be watching Please Put This On, Takumi-san. They're not gonna do it. It's never gonna win an award. I understand exactly what you're saying. Peak shows, never gonna win an award.
At least in the Western sphere. Even something that's got in the anime sphere, for anime fans, that's not as popular as something like Free Ren. Right?
There you go,
Because to me, as an anime fan, I was like, yo, Free Ren is the first time I've seen an anime that is not like completely action oriented.
I agree with what he's about to say.
Popular and actually had an effect on so many people that watch anime. And I think what this made me realize is that as popular as Free Ren did get for people who are very, very well versed in anime, it still does not compare to a general audience. Because how often do you talk to someone who watches anime but doesn't watch every anime? I have talked to so many people that have watched Solo Leveling and have watched Jujutsu Kaisen and have watched these action anime and just know no other anime but that genre, you know?
Yes.
Because those are the anime that goes past the little bubble that we have. And Free Ren very much represents that anime that is very, 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 very popular for anime watchers, but maybe doesn't go past that bubble in the same way that JJK does, that Solo Leveling does, that Demon Slayer does. And so I just think...
Last time I checked, Free Ren is not even on Netflix. Dandadan's on Netflix. Dandadan's on Netflix. I should just stop talking there. And there was one more I just saw just now, and I forgot what it was. But I was just trying to talk about the, like, even having access to a wider audience. Free Ren's only on Crunchyroll, where Dandadan is on Netflix and it's on Crunchyroll. And my point is, its reach is further as a result of that. So I have to think about things like that. Which, are they only limited to Crunchyroll? Or are they on multiple streaming services? I know it's the Crunchyroll Awards. I understand that, but I'm still saying the popularity, though. You know, you can be a Crunchyroll viewer, but never had given a show interest. But because it's on Netflix and your friend was talking about it, you now know about it because it got additional advertising, and you watch it on Crunchyroll as your preferred avenue. You know what I mean? That's what I was going with it.
Instead of being angry, you know, like I said, zero anger, no anger. I just think that this is just a representation of anime watchers today. This award is just the representation of just the general anime audience. And it is just a different audience. Because you know what? Remember when we were all salty when Yuri on Ice won every single award in the first year of the Anime Awards? I do not think that we would be able to see something like that again, because that represents
my ass talked over it.
It's just a different audience. Because you know what? Remember when we were all salty when Yuri on Ice won every single award in the first year of the Anime Awards? I do not think that we would be able to see something like that again, because that represents a time where one show got exceedingly popular, right? Which was Yuri on Ice that year. But it was a show that got exceedingly popular. That wasn't just a flashy action show. And I don't know when the next time is going to happen when a flashy action show doesn't dominate these awards. Because I just think they just have a much wider appeal than other genres of anime. Made in Abyss won Anime of the Year, right? What a year that was. And that was an upset that year. So I think it paints a picture that if Free Ren didn't win this year, I kind of just lost hope that anything but an action anime is going to win Anime of the Year for any anime awards. That's
my 2 cents too. Free Ren is the show I enjoyed more watching. It resonated with me more than Solo Leveling, because it was so different than anything I experienced. However, I voted for Solo Leveling. Oh, how could you? Not only do I vote for Solo Leveling, hear me out. I'm a free Eren supporter. I own manga. A lot of y'all voted for free Eren, but never gave free Eren an ounce of your money. I gave them my dollars, but I chose Solo Leveling. Why? I would rather watch Solo Leveling more times because of its action scenes and the character's cool. I have, oh, look at this fight. Oh, this guy is so cool. I was explaining to my wife how he can bring these shadow warriors. He kills somebody, turns them to a shadow warrior, and then goes out and then kills more people and turns them into shadow warriors. That's the story. That's the plot. That's cool. I rewatch it. For Eren, I have rewatched probably the one with there was a demon girl with the axe, and she was fighting the homie, but I forgot his name by now. God dang it. Stark. Good. Stark. Yeah, Stark was fighting a demon girl. That fight I watched over and over and over again. That was a pretty good fight. But it's not as flashy as Solo Leveling, and he's right. And then you're gonna say Lee's brain is brain rot. Part of me voting for a show includes just rewatchability. If I'm trapped on an island, which shows am I bringing to rewatch? Solo Leveling has among the highest rewatchability on that list. Dan to Dan has a high rewatchability, and Kaiju number 8 has a high rewatchability. Again, those are action-based animes. Free Eren is very, very juicy. It is very well written. It is directed beautifully. The rewatchability factor is not with the other ones. I am going to say, of all the shows on that list, it is the best show to watch for the first time, without a doubt. And you're like, but Lee, viewing the rewatchability shouldn't come into the factor, but it does for me. That's how I voted. There was no rule. All that mattered is exclude season 2 of Solo Leveling. And a lot of people say, oh, season 2 impacted your voting. Maybe it did. I'm not even going to deny it. Maybe it did. What do you want me to do? Have good release schedules. Shout out to Solo Leveling with the debut of their season 1, making sure season 2 came in. They got Anime of the Year. More Solo Leveling hype. Hey, shout out to the marketing team.
That is my conclusion. I would love to be proved wrong in the future, and I hope I am, because I would love for more genres of anime to get represented as some of the top tier anime. No copium left, but I think, yeah, Solo Leveling is insanely popular, and it's going to take a lot for something else to be able to dethrone a hot, flashy action anime. Like I said, I don't even dislike Solo Leveling. I like Solo Leveling. I enjoy it. I enjoy it for what it is. I don't even have the energy anymore. So I just want to focus my energy on shouting out that at least these shows got nominated. There have been some years where some fantastic shows have aired that weren't action shows that didn't get nominated. I would like to shout out that if there was a W in my mind for this year, it was the fact that we got such a wide range of nominations for Anime of the Year this year. And I'm sincerely hoping that Orb is at least going to be nominated next year for something. I'm hoping that
happened for Orb. By the way, see Apothecary Diaries, also on Netflix. My wife watches it. She likes it.
It was a technicality that Orb wasn't nominated. But for now, I am happy that these shows actually got the nomination for Anime of the Year, because I think it's time to accept that anime has just become bigger than the bubble that we grew up in. That is it. That is it. That is my review of the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. It's out of our control, guys. It's out of our control.
I am out, folks. Thanks for listening. Y'all already know. What is this? Top songs in Japan. Nick always got something crazy. All right, man. I'm out. I left my thoughts in the actual video of itself, so I am heading out. Thanks for checking it out. Lee is out.